What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna take a step back. We're gonna take a tactical view of what is going on in this hobby, and we're gonna try and prioritize, and we're gonna try and justify some of the moves that probably I will be making going forward. Um, so obviously we got the release of Destined Rivals. I was impressed. I was a bit disappointed, but I was impressed at the same time. I thought it would just be a bit different, right? And different is good. It's still a banging set, and I think comfortably it will be a very good investment going forward, which is what this channel is about. But, but, we in times like this, when the Pokemon hobby is just so the demand and everything around the sphere is just blowing up, right? We sometimes have to prioritize, and I think there is a conversation now after we've seen Destined Rivals in its entirety. There is a conversation that needs to be had. Which is going to be the set that comes out on top? What set is what set's going to come out on top in SV? Right, obviously Evolving Skies won by a mile. It's a bit closer with Scarlet and Violet. It's a bit closer. However, I still think Prismatic is going to take the crown. I it could change in between. Do you know what? I don't know how many sets they've got left to release, but it could change. But as of Destined Rivals release, I still think Prismatic has the crown. And there's a few reasons. The main one is it's gone Umbreon, right? It's gone Umbreon Chase, more importantly. It's gone Umbreon. The others don't have evolutions, right? Destined Rivals. So that's the main thing, and people really like and enjoy Eevee and evolutions. So that's essentially the main thing that's going on. But there's other things that you have to take into account, that these cards are going for extortionate prices, guys. 1.4k for Umbreon EX. It's only just been released. This is clearly a supply issue. You can't justify these prices. You go back and you take a look at some of the older cards in Diamond and Pearl, in XY, in Black and White. You take a look at some of these cards are nowhere near these prices, guys. Nowhere near. And I think there was an important turning point in Pokemon's history where Sun and Moon, it's the card artworks started getting a lot better. In Sun and Moon, I think X and Y was sort of the end of the well, it's kind of mid, the way they lay the card out and the artworks, but it really started to pop in Sun and Moon. They carried it on in Sword and Shield, and they are doing a hell of a job with it in Scarlet and Violet, and it's just peak Pokemon bull cycle right now. And I believe going forward, even if they reprint this all year, they reprint this to the ground, the absolute ground, and these prices come down 50%, it's still a buy at MS. We can look at the numbers, but it's still a buy at MSRP. It's so the value for money you're getting by buying Prismatic, and I mean any Prismatic. You might as well, if there was a set to go in on, it would be this set. It would seriously be this set, because the value is holding at these cards. And could I see the Umbreon go down in value? 100%, yeah, 100%. It could go in dollar terms now. It could go to $1,000. Do I see it going below $1,000? I mean, the other Umbreon hardly. It was below $1,000 for a while, but it hasn't really come back down, and it is inflated now. It could drop to 700, right? 50%. I don't think it's going to drop more than that, right? Even if you print it all, this set is going to get printed all year. It's going to get printed all year long, right? And their reprint window it's only just come out, really, in the grand scheme of things. So their reprint window is massive. They're going to be printing this for 2 years, essentially, straight. um, along with the other sets that they've got to manage. But I still think even with that, they dropped these prices 50%. The value for money you're getting is crazy. Right. So here's a few things that I want you to keep an eye on. I want you guys to keep an eye on this surprise box. Um, Essentially, gambler's item mixed in with more gambling. Obviously, you rip packs, it's gambling. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's exciting. You like the thrill. You like the chase. You like to collect. Um, and there's promise of potentially pulling value, and that's the alluring thing about Pokemon, right? But there's also they've doubled gambled with this because you get a random stamp card, and it could be an Umbreon, right? So I like this product. I think this product is going to sell long term. I think this product is going to do very well. So, guys, if you can get this at MSRP, I think you buy this all day long. You buy these sort of things all day long. Um, uh, the premium collection, the super premium collection, 90 quid. You might have to again put in a bit more effort. They're trying to beat the scalpers and the bots. Smiths, it did say pre-order in store here not long ago. That's now gone. I don't know why that's disappeared. I missed pre-order for this on the Pokemon Center. I missed it, unfortunately. Um, I really want this product. I probably want a few of this product as well. So it's going to be very, very, very difficult for me to get there with that. But if you want to put the effort in, you want this product, I'd recommend going to Smith's, placing a pre-order, which is what it said there. I don't know why that's gone. So I imagine it'll be pre-order in store. I'll probably make the effort to go down and pre-order on my way home from work or somewhere. But guys, it makes so much sense, and here's why. And here is why. If we go and take a look at the set value, we're talking 7.7 grand dollars, right? And to put that in perspective for people that aren't sort of aware of set value, um, this is the most since Evolving Skies, right? It's beating Evolving Skies right now. It is Evolving Skies, and this is arguably the most since EX era. Now you can go back and have a look, but they'll be in the top. If I'm wrong, they'll be in the top 3, 5, right, of sets in terms of value. That is ridiculous. They've literally just been printed. So it's so clear to me that this is a supply issue, and Pokemon need to print more of this set. Now, do I trust them to not overprint this set in terms of eroding all the value? Um, I think the market's appetite for this set will be more than Pokemon could ever print, and and it's impossible. There's only a certain amount of cards they can print in a year, right? Starters, and they have to print other sets, right? They cannot just print this set, and they cannot keep just reprinting this set. So they're going to have new sets, they're going to have new artworks, and then this is going to go out of print window. When this goes out of print window, it's going to be very interesting to see. I'd expect the total value of this set to come down drastically, right? As they reprint this through the year, there's going to be so much product. But I'm telling you, I would be taking advantage of picking up as much prismatic product as possible because it's holding its value right now. You know, there's a chance that the market is going to absorb this so much that this probably won't drop below 6 grand total value. And going forward, the sealed product has to reflect the price of the singles because otherwise everyone's just going to rip for the singles. It has to reflect the price of the singles, and that is only going to drive the price of the sealed product up. So in terms of investment, we need to start prioritizing product, and prismatic product is top of my list for these reasons, right? And I'm weary that they're going to reprint all year, and you don't know what's going to happen to the price. Even if demand goes away, it's still going to be 2 grand 3 grand, worst case scenario, and it's still a lot of money, right? And it's still a lot of value. So anything at MSRP makes sense. It's a buy, right? It's a buy. Moving on to Surgeon. I think Surgeon is also a buy. You're thinking, oh, 7 grand to 1.4, right? Well, it still hasn't had. I don't think it's had this drastic reprint yet. It's coming. I mean, we know it's coming. They've said it's coming, so we're just waiting for that to hit. I would be picking up more of the exclusive items. So the Pokemon Center ETB, I'd be heavily looking at that if that came out. Again, boosters. Again, boosters. It's a buy long term, guys. It's a buy. Anything else, I would be more sort of. There's only so much money someone like me has, a normal person has. So I would be looking more at Prismatic for any product that you can get your hands on. But Surgeon, I'd take an ETB and I'd take a booster box, right? Same for 151. I take a I take an ETB and I take maybe the booster bundle instead. I would love for the PC ETB to get reprinted, but we'll see. We'll have to wait on that. And Paldean Fates. So these are the sets that I'm focused on. But in terms of Destined Rivals, right? Where do I think the set value is going to be? I think it is going to become a solid second place to Prismatic. I think Paldean Fates is second, actually. So, yeah, I think Destined Rivals should easily secure second place with ease. I think a grand between these cards here, easy. Um, I reckon a good, you know, 800 here, and then you've got the ancillary products, ancillary like gold cards and the trainers and stuff. So yeah, I think it's an easy second place for Destined. I really do. So what does that mean? That means we also have to focus on Destined Rivals. Um, Again, any MSRP I'd be happy with, and it's important that when we have limited resources, right? You want to focus, and if we're going to focus, we might as well focus on the best sets that are gonna probably get printed a lot, but b hold value long term because people want the cards and people want to open the product, right, to get a specific card. So long term, the good sets win, and I would say that don't FOMO into product that's just getting released. So for example, Shrouded Fable PCTB just got released. It's a good product. I think is a good set. It's not by any means not the best. It's probably towards the bottom of Scarlet and Violet, but Scarlet and Violet, the bar for quality is very high, right? So Shadow Fable is probably towards the bottom, but great cards in the set. I would not be picking up that PCTB when I have the chance to potentially spend it on one of these sets, right? And I think that's what people are doing. You can see that in the demand when something like Prismatic gets released, and the difference in demand when that gets released to a PC, Shrouded Fable ETB, or the Scarlet and Violet bundle. They both still haven't sold out, and they were released yesterday. Which goes to show you that people probably went to buy them, but I don't want the people watching me going FOMO into those products when that the smart money is being patient on the sidelines waiting for the real value in Prismatic and other sets to go heavy into those, right? I'm not saying you can't buy those products and make money. They're still, like, Pokemon's a great buy at MSRP, right? But if you're forcing me to prioritize my cash and pick certain things, these are the four sets, well, 4 or 5 sets I'd be picking, right? Scarlet and Violet is a heavy hitter era, right? There's no question. It's probably going to go down in history as one of the best eras, in my opinion, of all time, and that changed a lot since the start, right? There's some really big sets There's some really big sets and some really big artwork cards in Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, we just have to sort of forget about the FOMO, guys. Is the main point, and focus on the value. And I think Destined Rivals is going to be second, and I think it's still going to be a really good buy. But I still think Prismatic is going to take the cake. I mean, you just they look like they're not going to falter, right? Even if they go down, I would say 50% is where I would be happy buying a single card, like half of that price. I can't be paying $400 or £360 for a Leafeon EX. So yes, just be patient, guys. Be patient. Don't be jumping at every opportunity. But that doesn't mean like I haven't bought other products. I bought Temporal Forces ETB Pokemon Center version when it got restocked. I thought that was a good buy. I missed it the first time, and I wanted I wanted a bit of exposure to Temporal because I don't actually own any. So I thought that was a sort of decision that I ended up taking to distribute my risk, if you would say it that way. But still, I think going in heavy into the good sets is not bad risk tolerance. So yeah, Destined Rivals, second place for me. Still a great set. Um, Different to what it was going to be, but that I thought it was going to be. But I mean, the cards are still there's still heavy hitters in this and these pull rates I'd imagine will be difficult. So I'm excited to buy some more product as Destined Rivals gets released. But guys, honestly, keep your eyes on the prize. As Destined Rivals is getting released, that's cool. Don't overindulge in that. Sometimes you have to like take the opportunity on the reprints because this is where the value is. Like this is what the numbers are saying. This is like Destined Rivals won't come close to the set value that this has. It won't come close. You'd be lucky if it got half of this value right now, and Prismatic is holding up very very well. So yeah, that's just a sort of my opinion on the sets, the Scarlet and Violet era that you want to start investing in. Take it as you like, but listen, guys, I appreciate you coming to the channel and watching the video. Um, I take some time to write down my thoughts and get this right for you guys. So thanks for that. If you want to stick around, consider subscribing. I'll keep uploading and see how we go. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. See you in a bit.